Well, these are his words, this is the part you've all been waiting for. Put briefly, my love life has been interesting and varied. I was married and in relationships for many years, albeit to a variety of people. I send my best wishes to my previous partners. Among the very fine women, the love of my life has been Carol. A wonderful woman I met in 2009 and have been privileged to share the last phase of my life with. We were introduced by a mutual friend, Liz. She's here today. We first dated over a coffee at Elman's Cafe in Lyell Bay, and weeks later we met again. Then weeks later again we caught up. Finally, after a few months, we both realised that this relationship was a keeper. It was slow romance, but well worth the wait. I can attest to that. I went up to Clyde's house one day after golf to pick something up. Carol walked in the door and I was no longer in the room. Carol and I have made many wonderful friends in our travels. Sorry, I missed a paragraph. In a relatively short time together, we travelled extensively in the UK and Europe, but lucky to have the ongoing hospitality of my London-based friend and ex-brother-in-law Tracy, who has made travelling in Europe easy. Added to that was the friendship of Tracy's contacts in the hospitality industry, and many a fine meal and glitzy function have been generously supplied over the years, often free of charge. So many highlights in countries like Croatia, Turkey, Greece, Spain, France, Ireland, and even poor war-ravaged Bosnia. We have made many wonderful friends in our travels. I was first diagnosed with cancer in 2010. After one biggish operation, I made it through to 2018 when a new and more challenging cancer appeared. After very large surgeries, I adjusted to life with a colostomy and urostomy bags, and even appeared to have beaten cancer against all the odds. This prompted a celebratory trip to, you guessed it, Europe. Unfortunately, the cancer reappeared later the same year in a far more virulent form. Unaffected by the old chemotherapy treatment. A new, stronger chemo brew was attempted, which held the cancer at bay for a time. And now, how is my life? I'm bloody sad. All sorts of things make me bloody sad. And I'm not going to be around to see them unless something miraculous happens. I'm very conscious about that. Ridiculous details like, shall I buy a big tube of toothpaste? or a small one. Silly things like that. But that's when the trouble when you've got an illness like I've got. It's always close to the surface. And you've got to be careful with what you say. Sometimes I trip over myself. I don't think Clyde was ever careful what he said. This will be good when it grows. Yeah, if I'm around. You don't want to upset people, but it's hard. It's just being a realist, I suppose. Hard to know what's the best thing to do. But I will eventually succumb to the inevitable. What an awesome story. I'm going to go one final thing to say before I hand over to Carol. I won't use my notes, so that'll be much better. Clyde was an outstanding individual, interested in so many things. He was a great lefty in terms of his political views. He read every magazine, every news feed from overseas, every soccer result, every rugby game result. He was a wonderful person, but he was caring, and I just want to say from a personal perspective, because you heard enough from me, that my life was just so much richer for having known Clyde McLeod.